Tonight, from London, the Em and Andrews Show. And tonight, Eamon's guests are Milt Kamen, Dudley Moore, Lucille Ball, the Dudley Moore Trio, Carmen McRae, Noel Coward, Mohammed Ben Ali, formerly Cassius Clay. And now, here's Em and Andrews.
Welcome. I tell you that just before the show, I was talking to a rugby fan who came all the way down from Lancashire yesterday to see the Rugby League Cup final at Wembley, but by mistake, he went to Highbury, where he sat right through the big fight and didn't notice the difference. Now, I only dare say that because we have in the audience tonight the Rugby League Cup winners themselves, the St. Helens rugby team. Welcome. Great to see you both. A great game. Stay around. I may need you later. Now, back home in the States, my first guest is known for a style of humor that has the producers of all the top comedy shows continually knocking on his door. Well, we've prized him away from them this weekend, Milt Kamen. Milt, I was checking up on you, and I discovered that you weren't a comedian to begin with. You're sort of a late arrival in the comedy field. What did you start doing?
Well, I was a symphony musician. It's a terrible thing to say out loud, but I was. I was a French horn player.
I don't know if you're kidding or not, but you were.
No, I was.
Yes.
I don't play anymore, but I can imitate it. It's. You can see why I gave it up.
Do you, in fact, like comedy better than your life in music?
Well, it's quite different. I don't know. I guess not everyone would know. In a symphony orchestra, no matter who the musician is that plays a solo, the next day you read that the conductor did a great job, and you've been shivering and playing. And you think, well, he gets all the credit. I mean, who can't play a stick? I mean, also, there's certain dangers that go on in the symphony orchestra. There's signals. You know, when a conductor's conducting, while he's conducting, your life is in danger because if he doesn't like you, he can fire you. And the way they do it is right while you're playing. And he conducts like this, and he goes like this. And it means 2 weeks and you're out. And some conductors are good, but a lot of them fake. So you ever see a conductor who goes like this? You know, everyone says, what emotion? It's not emotion. He's saying, where's the place? Where's the place? He's lost.
What about your family, Milt? Do they prefer you, in music or in comedy? Are you married?
No, I'm not married. No, I'm a bachelor. Oh, yes. I didn't know that. I thought I was just single. But I am a bachelor. I don't know if there's so much pressure here in England as there is in the United States. They pressure if you're not a married person. Everyone's always trying to get you married, you know. They say, here, I want to introduce you to a nice girl, you know. I can't tell them I don't want a nice girl. But there is a lot of pressure. Well, I think in ancient Sparta, there was the same thing. Years ago in Sparta, if a fellow didn't want to get married.
And where was this?
Sparta.
Yeah.
You know, they used to have the bachelor run around the whole city all nude in the wintertime. And freezing until he would say, all right, I'll marry you. And he would marry any girl. That didn't matter. And she would say, well, he was cold in the beginning, but he warmed up. But I don't know if I'll get married now because I don't know if I bought a pressure cooker not long ago. That's a terrific thing, a pressure cooker. I don't need anybody to cook for me. There's 25 minutes for chicken, 13 minutes for beef stew, and 3 minutes for 10 pairs of socks. And you don't need any detergent, just a little garlic, and it cleans the socks. Socks are great. But sometimes I feel guilty that I'm not married because I could be divorced, and I feel guilty because I know I'm denying a nice lady alimony.
Denying a nice lady a pressure cooker. Why I had difficulty in thinking of Sparta? Your accent is Brooklyn, is it?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. That's where they spawned comedians, apparently. Everyone claims they came from Brooklyn. I did. I liked it there. It's nice. Of course, I came from a very rough section of Brooklyn called Brownsville, Brooklyn, and that's the place that Murder Incorporated came from. And I needn't tell you the fine work that organization has done. But, you know, it's interesting. Then they got organized. But you know what's funny? I was in London here now for a whole day, so naturally I'm an authority. But it is the trees and it's beautiful to see so much grass. I didn't see any of that until I was about 19, because we don't have that in New York. Just buildings grow, but that's all. And I remember when I was about 6 or 7, I saw a pigeon, and I thought it was an angel. I never saw anything like that. And I remember the first time I saw a cow in Washington, D.C., my reaction, I was 19, and I became embarrassed when I saw the cow. I threw a blanket over it that no one should see it. What a terrible thing. It was just... And I remember when I saw chickens and cows and everything running around, all uncooked. I always thought a chicken looked like this naturally. I didn't know.
Look, Miss, while we've been talking here, right over there, bass player Pete McGurk and drummer Chris Karen have ever so surreptitiously crept on the set, because we're going to hear Samantha. And to complete the trio, all that's required is for me to introduce that famous piano-playing virtuoso, Maestro Dudley Moore. I don't have to tell you that was Samantha from the new LP, The Genuine Dud. We're going to be talking to The Genuine Dud in a couple of minutes, but we'll hold it there because we want to meet also in a couple of minutes the greatest lady of television comedy, Lucille Ball, and one of the greatest names of the theater, Noel Coward. welcome back, and we have the genuine Dud in captivity here. It's very nice having you back with us after your long holiday. We had a friend of yours on last week.
Oh, yes, Randolph Churchill, yes.
Oh, no, he spoke well of you, too. I mean, that other statesman, Peter Cook.
Oh, yes, awfully nice, yes.
I saw Peter at the big fight last night, but I didn't see you. Were you there?
Well, the price of those tickets, and only one of us could go. And he gave me a left hook, actually, to the jaw to confirm that he was going rather than me. Really?
Yeah. Well, Dudley, we're now embarking on another aspect of the continuing Dudley Moore story. That's Dudley Moore, the cinema actor.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's an exciting possibility. Yes.
More than a possibility, it's a reality, isn't it? The wrong box.
Mm.
And I'm not sure that the casting is correct. I gather that they've cast you in the role of a cringing, predatory, womanizing, self-seeking fortune hunter.
Yes. I think it's very good casting. I could apply all those... No, I don't think so. I enjoyed playing it. Yes, it was one of those lusty parts, you know. It was fun, great fun.
Somehow doesn't sound like the boy we all know from Dagenham who goes home for the home-cooked lunch on Sundays and so on.
Yes, I've got to tell my mother sometime about this. I think she's probably watching. I'm sorry, Mum. What he says is absolutely true. I'm evil through and through. Yeah. Really?
Does this mean that you didn't get home for lunch today?
No, I did actually. Yes, I got home, but I'm on a peculiar sort of diet at the moment, which means I can only eat meat and things like that. So instead of having roast lamb and cabbage and potatoes and peas, all I had was roast lamb. It tastes like old cardboard in the end, you know, when you've got nothing else to go with it.
Yeah.
But it's, so I go back for the relaxation now rather than the food.
You don't go back for this, I read in the Daily Mirror, this red nightshirt that you're alleged to wear.
No, I keep that at home in a very private place. Then when I'm feeling terribly lonely, I go strutting around the flat in it, you know, just to give myself a bit of a turn on.
I don't know, Milt, what sort of a part you'd see Dudley in, but you did yourself write a movie once, didn't you?
Yes, I've written a movie, but no one's picked it up. I was thinking about, in the States, they also diet a great deal, I think what I'd say. And they're always bragging about their diets. I'm salt-free, you know. Look at that, 14 notches in my belt. And there's one fellow said, well, I only eat things that swim. So he said, well, it doesn't leave you very much. He says, no, he says, I eat everything. First I teach it to swim, then I eat it. Well, but the movie I wrote is a science fiction movie. It's about the fallout from the testing of the bombs, and the fallout falls on a tomato, and the tomato becomes infected and starts to grow, and becomes 80 stories high, and then it attacks the whole country. It attacks the people in the town. Tremendous tomato, and the people are running, screaming, the tomato is coming! And the tomato attacks the people by spritzing them with tomato juice. And it gets tomato juice all over the people, and they want to fight back, but it's too late. You know, once you get ketchup all over your clothes, you don't care anymore. And they want to go home and change. But anyhow, it's a tremendous movie. It stars Anne Margaret. It's called The Red Menace. Anyhow, but it leads to a tremendous climax because the army surrounds the tomato, and they shoot bullets into it, and the tomato loves everything. And it's spritzing back. So they send... And it takes place in the United States, this movie. So they sent for a man. They sent for a man from the State Department, a fruit man, and he comes with an attaché case full of money, and he offers the tomato money to go away. And the tomato takes the money and doesn't go away. It's just like real life, this movie. So go see it. Enjoy it. It'll relax you from reality.
Well, we're going to meet somebody now that I've never met on tonight in real life, so straight away, my next guest. In London to film a television special is the world's best-loved Dizzy Dame, the unchallenged queen of television comedy, Lucille Ball. great to see you, Lucille.
Thank you.
I was looking for you, too, at the big fight last night. Were you there?
What fight?
Muhammad Ali and Henry Cooper.
Oh, good heavens. I didn't even know they were angry at each other. I didn't know that.
All right, fair enough, Lucy.
I didn't.
I gather that next week or this week you're starting round London in a sidecar of a motorbike for this new TV film you're making with Tony Newley driving.
Yes, I'm doing a Lucy Goes to London special, and it is being done on a motorcycle. And I think that's a wonderful way to see London.
It's a wonderful way to see the traffic, and I wish you joy with it.
Yes, I'm going to understand every bit of trouble you all have once I've spent 10 days out in the streets of London trying to get around, I know.
Certainly are.
But I really am looking forward. I'm also looking forward to some good weather. Do you have any...
Yes, we're due some more. You're just showing off. You've been in Barbados this summer. We had some good weather while you were lounging in the sun, Dodge. Yeah. Some lovely weather. But, Lucy, the thing I think that fascinates all of us in the business about you is this tremendous output of yours. I Love Lucy, The Lucy Show, and it goes on and on and on and maintains this fantastic standard that has us laughing at home night after night.
Thank you.
How do you manage this? You must be a very highly organized person to do it. How much of you, Lucille Ball, is in the Lucy that we see?
Well, according to my husband, Gary, quite a bit. And according to my children, Lucy and Desi, quite a bit. The organization, yes, you're right. It takes a great deal of organization on my part. It's sort of budgeting your time. But I think the reason that I can do what I do, as long as I do, and as happily as I do, because I love it. And I think I think we're very lucky people when we're doing something that we love that much. It doesn't seem like work. It isn't difficult. I'd rather work than go to a party or go shopping or anything. I really enjoy it.
But you had it so well organized. I remember reading when you were expecting your second baby that the scriptwriters arranged that Lucy should be expecting her second baby and then even predicted that it was going to be a boy.
Well, that was just a prediction, and it happened to come true. Now, really. But that wasn't prearranged.
Was it not? Oh, I thought that you were able to work all these things like that.
No.
But in fact,
I had a little help from up above on that.
But you had the whole nation by the ears. I think I remember it was Associated Press said they were going to cover the birth on a wartime basis with hourly bulletins.
They did. I wasn't aware of it until it was all over, but that's what happened. Just don't tell my boy, will you? I don't want him to know it.
What about the personal organization, Lucy, that goes into this? I mean, that you have your children, you have your presidency of the Desilu Corporation, and you have the, activity as a comedian. Do you set out and slot your week like this, even though you enjoy it? Do you say, well, that much time for this and that?
Yes, 4 days of the week, Monday through Thursday, I have to be on the stage doing my show, a stage very much like this, not as nice as this one, but I'm on stage 12 doing my show from Monday to Thursday night, and I have an audience just like that. And without them, I couldn't do the Lucy Show. I've always done it with an audience, canned laughter on our show. And it's a cross-section of America that we have in that audience. It's tourists, who come to Hollywood. And the Fridays I spend in my office, and some evenings, but not many. But early morning, I go to my office. I have my secretary there.
What do you call early morning?
Well, I get up at 7, and I'm in my office by 8, and I work until 10. And then I go on the set and work. And then lunchtime and in between a couple of nights a week, I do my paperwork and meetings and things like that. And the big meetings, the stockholders' meetings and whatnot, are done on Fridays. And when there are no meetings, I have rather a long weekend with my children.
This wouldn't suit you, Dudley, I don't think.
Not the same. Not me either. No, the whole object of becoming a performer is to run around at night and sleep late.
I was glad to get out a picture so that I could sleep a little later. For many years, I got up at 5 every morning. I got home at 8 or 8:30. Actually, television is a lot easier.
Now that you're president, you only get up at 7.
It has nothing to do with being president. It's just that I only have to get into makeup once a week. I do my show in an hour at night, on Thursday night. The rest of the time is just rehearsal.
I was going to say my makeup normally lasts the whole week.
Well, when did you make up last?
I'm not telling you. If you don't know, I'm not telling you.
Well, look, let's hold it out. I'll introduce my next guest. He's achieved success in everything he's attempted: playwright, actor, author, composer, director. And right now he's back again on the London stage after 13 years with another success, his trilogy of plays, Suite in Three Keys. Noel Coward. Well, Noel, I know that you know Lucy.
Yes, with old friends.
Now, with all your work, Noel, it's impossible for any of us to pick out a highlight. Your first successful West End play was The Vortex, wasn't it, in 1924? 24. Knows all the dates. And all the things that happened since then. But have you yourself ever analyzed what it is that keeps you involved? Because you weren't dictated to by the fashions. I mean, do you consider yourself with it?
Well, I think after the age of 50, you try too hard to be with it, end up by being without it.
Even though you didn't go with fashion, Noel, you certainly used fashion as a target, didn't you? I mean, you helped to kill off the cocktail era, for instance.
I don't know if I killed it off, did I?
Well, you had it staggering.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that particular period. Everything's changed now, though. Now I'm a slightly more somber mood, which is, well, there's a little bit of comedy still going on, but my main play in this series is serious.
You concentrate on the more constant themes for your work now.
Yes, I never really worry about whether it's going to be with the trend or without the trend. I think one writes, I've always, all my life, written primarily to please myself if I were sitting in the audience. Yeah. And if I have myself in stitches, it's very funny.
But wouldn't you, perhaps Lucy's success here is for the same reason that her comedy arises out of real situations, real emotions.
Yes, and another thing with Lucy is that she's a profoundly brilliant technician.
Thank you.
Her timing is marvelous and always has been. I think that is a gift as well as the fire.
Thank you. Noel, may I ask you something? I haven't had a chance to see your plays at the Queen Theater, is that right?
Yeah.
I understand in one you play a Midwestern millionaire.
Yes, sweetheart.
You've got to be kidding. Do you really?
Yes, I have a crew cut.
Let's hear some more dialogue.
Well, dear, I can't now because it wouldn't be sincere.
That's great.
Does that pass, yeah?
That's the art.
Indeed it passes. How do you
It's a
manage
hard
it?
R.
Yeah.
You see, New England
It's
is going to
the
say it's not correct, but I'm Minneapolis, baby.
That's true. They put R's even where there aren't any. They say, do you believe in guards?
No, during that, if I wanted to set out to pay you a compliment, which compliment would you appreciate? That you were a great actor, or a great writer, or a great musician, or a great novelist, a great playwright?
I think great's a dangerous word. I'm quite a good cook.
No, seriously, which of your accomplishments, do you take greatest pride in?
Well, I think writing, really. But, you see, one of the reasons that I only play limited seasons is because I'm playing 8 performances a week. I have to save myself for the work in the evening. So, and I can't write, because writing takes quite a lot of vitality. But on the whole, I'd rather be remembered as a writer. But of course, an actor is remembered only in people's memories. It's an interpretive art. But writing, if it's any good, is loved and lived.
But apart from it living a little longer, and a great deal longer, I'm sure, is the pleasure that you derive from a completed book or a play as great as the pleasure that you get from a moment in the theater when you know the audience have gone?
Oh, that's a particular pleasure. That's a lovely pleasure. I've been on the stage now since 1910, and the feeling of an audience applauding is still one of the greatest thrills in the world.
You agree with that, Lucy?
You bet.
After applause, laughter, well?
Or maybe before. Maybe
Laughter
laughter.
first, applause after, and then cheers.
Nothing like that standing ovation, huh?
That's what I like.
I don't want it. I don't care for that. I just want pure adulation. I don't want the in-between.
None of these halfway measures. Well, one of the things, of course, about Noel is his music, and let's hear now a sample of the music of Noel Coward, and at the same time listen to the very stylish singing of one of the world's top jazz singers. The song is Noel's composition, If Love Were All, the singer Carmen McRae.
I believe in doing what I can, in crying when I must, in laughing when I choose. I hope if love were all, I would be loved. I believe the more you love a man, the more you give your trust, the more you're bound to lose. Although when shadows fall, I think if only somebody splendid really needed me, someone affectionate and dear, cares would be ended if I knew that he wanted to have me. So I believe that since my life began, the most I've had is just a talent to amuse. Hi-ho, hi-ho, if love were
Thank you, Carmen McRae. Nice, wasn't it?
Perfectly lovely. She sings it beautifully.
Well, compliment from the author is a compliment indeed.
Years ago, I found by mistake, I was walking down Madison Avenue and I saw a record in a shop called Mad About the Boy, sung by Carmen McRae. And nobody told me that she'd recorded it or it had been done. And it was a record of a number of my songs, and I bought at once 20 copies.
Fair enough. Well, now, we've got one more world beater to meet yet, and we'll meet him in a couple of minutes. I mean, of course, Muhammad Ali, the man who still makes today's front pages as Cassius Clay. Welcome back again. Last night, he was in the ring at Highbury. Tonight, he's here in this studio, the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. Well, a great welcome to you, Muhammad.
Thank you.
I must say that I, like a lot of people, can't get used to, since for religious reasons you changed your name. Does it annoy you when people forget and call you Cassius?
No, it's just a matter of the way they say it. Some of them, many times they say Mr. Clay and Mr. Cassius, maybe have the other, but I say myself, it's just between me and him on the street. But in front of the world and on nationwide shows, I usually make it known to them, correct me. And then some, in the States and many places, mainly the southern cities, many of them are rather smart and they seem to be looking for trouble. You know, how you doing, Cassius, old boy? How you doing? You know my name, fella. Well, I'm Mr. Ali, I'm sorry. But just, you know, I mean, it's caught in the way the people approach me, but otherwise I'll take my attention.
Fair enough. Let's have a word about the fight last night, Cassius.
Muhammad,
I'm sorry.
I didn't do that deliberately.
I'm glad he smiled when he said that.
You know my name, boy.
Don't worry, I can off here, boy.
You remind me of a fella in the States. He have a show just like you on the live audience. He have the stars all the time. And he's just like you, full of jokes. This fella, jokes, what he said. Johnny Carson. You heard of Johnny Carson?
Yes.
Your show is so much like his, the way it come on. I was wondering who copied after who. Did you style your show after his, or did you?
Johnny's a much younger man than I am.
I copied him.
No, about the fight, Muhammad, I was there, as you know, I met you last night at the ringside, and everybody said maybe it's going to end with this cut-eye, as it did, alas. But to me, you yourself, when it happened, you looked shocked.
Well, I didn't. I was sorry that it ended that way. Henry Cooper's a good fighter, and I think 2 or 3 rounds he won. And it wasn't a 1-minute thing like the Sackler-Liston fight, nor was it a 1-minute thing like the 2 Patterson-Liston fights. The people saw a lot for their money, and it was going good. But it's unfortunate that he cut these, and I hate it. I hate the sight of blood. It's not my nature to just hurt a man once I see blood gushing from his head like that. So
And it certainly was gushing, wasn't it?
Automatically I went on the defense, and I was mostly clinching and holding, and hoping that the referee would stop it.
Yeah, you would rather the fight hadn't carried on.
Right.
Did you ask the referee to stop it?
I mentioned it, yes, but he paid no attention.
There was the inevitable speculation about whether the cut began with a punch or with a clash of
It
heads.
was a punch. I saw the film today. We went to watch the movie, and it was a punch. I was wondering myself, but it was a punch. And if you watch it, and if they cut the film in slow motion, they'll see it was a punch.
How do you think the fight would have gone if this cut hadn't happened?
Well, if he didn't cut so easy, I think the fight would have ended in about 11 rounds with a knockout, or maybe the